Hello, Internet. My name is Aardman Carol, and this is Shellby Carol.
Yeah, right.
My dad.
What's wrong with that?
Man has gazed at the stars and he has wondered, am I alone?
Anyway, we saw Tron Ares on opening night at our local cinema here in Leeds, and
It was rubbish.
Uncle Stan thought it was alright.
Uncle Stan also left halfway through to go to the toilet just after Ares is introduced and didn't come back until Jeff Bridges came on.
Oh yeah, spoilers throughout this video for Tron Ares, of course. Anyway, we made a variety of predictions, and I thought it'd be fun to go over them, see what we were right about, if anything, and what we got incorrect.
If anything.
Our first prediction was that Sam Flynn and Quorro will be acknowledged in a throwaway line, which was initially correct.
And then they referenced him 3 more times.
Yes, in the opening exposition that recaps everything on the history of NCOM and Kevin Flynn, as well as the new characters, they referenced Sam Flynn leaving NCOM for personal reasons, which I thought was going to be it.
Then there's an article with a picture of Sam and Quorro within all the things Ares reads after reading the girl's disc or something else.
And then the villain, Julian, whose mum is Scully from X-Files, and whose dad was David Warner from the first film.
So, Cillian Murphy's character is the brother of Scully from X-Files.
Yes.
Back to what you were saying.
Oh yeah, he calls the programmer at NCOM about the girl, what's her name?
Is it Eve or Eva?
Eva, yeah, and how she's disappeared like Sam Flynn. And then at the end we see Ares wherever he is. I'm in a sip of coffee and reading a newspaper out of school with a picture of Sam Quorro on from earlier. And then another picture with Quorro on her own with some numbers on. Which interested me.
Yeah, I was not bothered about fourth Tron, especially after the post-credit scene, but we'll talk about that later. That bit actually made me slightly intrigued.
That pairing would have made sense, and I would have liked to have seen that in a sequel, since Quorro was glossed over highlight of Legacy, which probably would have shown in the version of the film that was a direct sequel to Legacy.
Can we get back on topic?
Oh yeah, sorry, but the point being, there were more acknowledgements of Legacy than I thought there'd be. You thought it'd be like The Force Awakens to the prequels, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought they'd do the thing most soft reboots do, where they go back to the original and forget about everything else.
Even if people remember Legacy more fondly than the original in a lot of ways.
But from Disney's perspective, Legacy's the weird misfire, whereas Tron 1982, a massive flop, is the one everyone loves.
Yeah, well, let's look at the second prediction, which was that Kevin Flynn will have survived exploding Legacy, which he did?
I'm not too sure. I don't think it was the real Kevin Flynn.
Really?
According to Wikipedia, but even they're a bit vague.
But it won't be the real Kevin Flynn because he's in the other grid, not the original grid.
A malfunctioning program who wants to live. Why is that?
Suppose Tron doesn't have many iconic characters like Tron himself, so uniconic that they don't even include him in this film, which was one of your predictions, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? But I also had a less serious prediction that Ares was going to be a reincarnated Tron.
There was no way in hell they were going to do that.
I know. I'd just seen it online and I thought I'd put it in just because.
You think you're in control of this? You're not.
On the topic of other characters, I thought Julian Dillinger, the grandson of David Warner's character, like I mentioned earlier, would have had a redemption arc where after trying to exploit Ares, he learned his lesson and help out at the end?
Yeah, when the programmer bloke, I've forgotten the name of, hacked the Dillinger grid, thought that would have been the time to redeem him.
It was very funny that the corporate executive, who feels very much like Sam Altman of OpenAI fame, is placed as the villain of this AI story.
And he's not going to turn good anytime soon, thanks to that post-credit scene.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we had this ridiculous and impossible theory.
More so you than me.
Well, theory was that
The reason the AI would go AWOL was because a certain MCP or SARC would be controlling them secretly.
And what did the post-credit scene show us?
Julian Dillinger taking a red identity disk and transforming into SARC from the original Tron. So yeah, they pulled a Rise of Skywalker.
And brought back the big bad from the original.
It's not confirmed that's what's happening.
But we can infer from the post-credit scene that they want to bring him back in the sequel, which will definitely happen.
Oh god, imagine if they bring back David Warner, Harold Ramis style after death.
No, I refuse.
Now I'll finish up with a couple of small predictions, including that they'd be set up for future Tron projects, and certain sequences would be similar to Star Wars ones.
We already talked about the setup with Ares having the picture of Quora and Julian Dillinger becoming Sark.
Yeah, the setup was a mixed bag. I like the one with Quora.
But we don't need to see Sark or, heaven forbid, the MCP.
Yeah, the MCP is the dullest and most boring character ever.
If you can even call him a character.
Yeah, I didn't realise how solid Clue was as a villain. Not amazing, but solid when you compare him to the MCP.
You also mentioned Star Wars.
Yes, I thought there'd be a lot of similarities to certain Star Wars things, since the original Tron was meant to be Disney Star Wars.
You had an evil empire oppressing a world with the leader controlling an underling.
And then Legacy had the scene with the planes over the ocean and Sam Flynn in the turret, like Luke and the Falcon and A New Hope.
Star Wars.
What?
Don't call it A New Hope. It's Star Wars.
It's the same thing.
No, there's a difference.
Is there?
Yes, one is the greatest blockbuster film ever made, and the other is a corrupted version of that film with various horrendous CGI things that still haven't been taken out to this day.
Well, now we're done, now I'll get to work.
It's R5, right?
Yeah?
Thought your shift started at 4. Thank God I retired early.